What's good, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing? I am here to add yet another Starfield video into the giant mess that is the internet. Now, it seems that Starfield is a very polarizing game. I am aware that there's a lot of arguing and a lot of garbage going on around Starfield. I don't know none of that. Listen, all I know is that it's happening, but I have not looked at the arguments. I do not want the game to be spoiled for me. I do not want other people's opinions right now while I formulate mine, right? So even though the game has been out for some time now, this is still just my initial thoughts video here. Now, of total gameplay, I probably have about 15, 16 hours, and I'm probably about 9 or 10 hours into the main story. Now, I have heard a lot of this consensus that the story gets good around 12 hours. Now, I don't know if that's true, but if that's so, it seems like I'm about to reach that point. The initial thoughts I have for Starfield is I am enjoying the game. And disclaimer, I like Bethesda games. I like RPGs. I could find a lot of fun in an quote-unquote empty, storyless world, even though I don't think that that's the case with Starfield. If you have a good open world, trust that it's going to take me a long time to get bored, simply because I do like just exploring, wandering around, and RPing. I mean, that's what it is, right? RPG, right? I like role-playing and just pretending I'm in this world. It's very enjoyable. So take that into account when I'm giving my opinion here on Starfield. I can understand and respect the opinion of 12 hours is far too long of a time before a game gets interesting. I mean, most people will leave by that point. Me, I could easily make it to 12 hours, finding enjoyment and enjoying the little parts of the world, the little parts of the story that get us to that supposed big climax point in the story. Now, I have not been spoiled, luckily, and I might not be reading comments or nothing because I do not want to be spoiled. I'm playing the main campaign on stream, so it's gonna take me a little minute. But on my free time, when I'm not streaming, I have been playing offline. And I have to say, the sheer amount of content in this game is enjoyable and great to see. I have not touched the main story outside of streams, which has been, like I said, about 9 to 10 hours so far of main quests. All the side quests that I've been doing provide more than enough hours of entertainment that it's crazy. If you like Bethesda games, you most likely like Starfield. If you don't, you might struggle a little bit. I love the quests where you just go and get somebody some gosh dang Big Mac sauce because they needed sauce for their restaurant, and then you end up finding a crazy colony ship that's been in space for 200 years, and you have to decide their fate, and it's a big deal, and you know, it's just more exploration, more story, and it's just really cool and fun to be a part of that world. The world to me is awesome to explore and is about what I expected. See, a lot of people seem to have had No Man's Sky expectations, which is understandable because, you know, space, and there's a lot of similarities in that situation. But we have to understand that these are completely different games. I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's just they're literally completely different genres, y'all. When we talk about No Man's Sky, there's no real story there. You know, the point is exploration. The point is discovering the universe, and it's really cool. You know, No Man's Sky is awesome in the case of how it does its exploration, how you're able to just have an seemingly infinite universe. You're able to just go from planet to planet. You're able to go from atmosphere into space. All those things are really cool. And it would have been awesome if Bethesda would have done something similar to that. It would have been really good. And I think that they have a lot of room for improvement, even just in the cutscenes from, you know, from cutting from atmosphere into space or from space into the planet side. They could have definitely done a better job. Even just if it was just still going to be a cutscene, they could have done a better job with those cutscenes, right? But when it comes to Bethesda, when it comes to Starfield, the main point is the story that you're going to have, the characters, the NPCs, the actual more detailed environments. It's not just procedurally generated, even though a lot of it is, and we'll get into that in just a second. No Man's Sky and Starfield are very different. Both have their strengths and their weaknesses. That you go to play the game you want to play depending on what you want to experience. If you just want to explore space, then No Man's Sky is your game. You know, you could just have an infinite amount of planets and it's just exploration, and it's really cool in that sense. If you want an actual story, if you want more detailed worlds, cities and NPCs and, you know, people to interact with, well, Starfield is more up your alley. The world of Starfield is great. It's very enjoyable. A lot of the planets are super cool. As I'm exploring in Starfield, my quest logs just keep filling up. Everywhere I walk, there's more quests, more quests. I'm in the middle of doing a quest and somebody else gives me a quest in the middle of it. So there's no shortage of things to do. Now, as expected, unfortunately, I do not like that procedural generation, and I found it unnecessary to have over 1,000 planets like they said. If you go back to one of my other Starfield videos, it's kind of exactly as I predicted it, which is there's about a couple dozen planets where the main quest, main story seems to revolve around, and then there's hundreds of planets that are just procedurally generated with random little outposts or nothing at all. But if you are still into space exploration, you are still able to explore the hundreds of planets, set up your base on whatever planet you want. You know, it's still enjoyable, it's still cool, but nowhere near done as well as No Man's Sky, because that is the focus of No Man's Sky, right? The characters in Starfield so far have been great. Now, I understand if you're not used to the Bethesda jank or the Bethesda kind of like roughness around the edges, especially when it comes to the facial animations, I could see you struggling with these things, you know? There's a lot of good voice acting, but I could understand the trouble sometimes with the facial animations not matching up perfectly, or them just kind of looking like, you know, like, you know, it's understandable. Me, as somebody who has played Bethesda games for a long time and who also played Fallout 4, which had obviously very similar animations, it doesn't really get to me, and that's not really excusing it. They could do better, they should do better in that situation, but it's something that I'm willing to forgive when you take into account just the amount of things that Starfield has. You know, the Starfield is kind of trying to be that jack of all trades, where they have story, they have exploration, they have important and memorable characters, they have shipbuilding, and they have base building, and they have all these different things that you're able to do. So I'm willing to forgive certain finer details that they might have not gotten perfectly right. Now me, I am enjoying Starfield. I love space, I love RPGs, I love just going into another world and immersing myself into it. It is very fun for me just to walk around, to fly around, to explore new planets, to see what's going on. And so far, I have been intrigued by the main quest. So far, I have enjoyed the main quest, but I could definitely understand where people are saying that it is definitely a bit slow, especially here at the beginning. I'm enjoying it, especially if it's true that, you know, it picks up at 12 hours, because if I'm already enjoying it, then I assume it's going to get very enjoyable for me once I reach that 12-hour mark. So ladies and gentlemen, these are simply my initial thoughts here on Starfield. I am enjoying the game so far, but then again, I like Bethesda games, I like RPGs, I like open exploration. I'm able to immerse myself into a world and have fun in what a lot of people may call a imperfect game or a empty world. To me, it's not really empty, and there is a lot to do, and I'm able to enjoy myself. I'm able to role play, as you know, the name of the game suggests, role-playing game, and I'm having fun with it, y'all. I'm having fun with it. I am planning on dropping a final review, but that's gonna take me a while because I truly want to, at the very least, finish the main quest. We're at least gonna get through that main story, and then we'll drop that final review. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much for watching. Let me know what you guys are thinking of Starfield down in the description. Thank you so very much. Please do consider subscribing, following me on Twitch. All those links are going to be down in the description. Appreciate you guys. And until next time, I'll see you.